Cyber attacks are attempts by hackers to break into a computer system or a network, either to steal sensitive information, disrupt operations, or demand money in exchange for stopping the attack. Think of it like a digital break-in. Instead of a burglar entering your house, it's someone getting into a company's network. The attacks can range from phishing emails trying to trick someone into revealing passwords, or to ransomware attacks that lock up all the files on a computer system until a payment is made. But what I think people don't realize is how big of a global problem this is. Cyber attacks are costing us as a society over $20 billion a day. And these sophisticated attackers are targeting us, our organizations, and they're trying to shut us down and trying to lock up our files and prevent us from doing business or otherwise going about our daily lives.
About that way around. Yes, it is. Yeah.
A ransomware attack is when an attacker gets access to an organization and they're locking up files to prevent our access to them. But you know what? It's not just locking up the files. They're actually usually stealing information. And more we're seeing this disturbing trend where they're shutting down operations by deleting or otherwise getting into our applications. And so it's not just ransomware, but it's extortion where they use that access, the locked up files, the information that they've stolen, and they hold that above us and they say, hey, if you don't pay us, we're going to leak your sensitive private information and we're not going to get out of your network and we're not going to let you unlock these files. So if the attackers have come in and they've taken your data, there may still be a copy of it on the systems, on the computer network of your employer. It may reside on backup, but really what you're trying to do is protect the confidentiality of that data so the attacker isn't going out and publishing it and sharing it broadly on the internet, exposing sensitive information. Now, will they live by their word? I mean, there's a saying, there's no honor among thieves, so it's really hard to say. But commonly they will provide certain information back. You know, is it everything? Are they going to live up to their word and not otherwise share it? The answer is likely no, but sometimes it's so important to get the information back that organizations do need to pay. So specific to the retail industry, just as an example, there are numerous ways a cyber attack will impact that organization. One, obviously their ability to conduct business is often disrupted. The ability to use the point of sale system or conduct e-commerce online to sell to their customers. And that can cost millions of dollars a day alone, just that one part. Secondly, you have the impact to customer trust, where your brand as a retail organization in this instance is impacted and consumers will make a decision to shop at another location. Third, you've got potential regulatory and litigation risks where different regulatory bodies are going to come in and ask questions about Did you take appropriate steps to protect the information and defend your networks? And then, of course, there could be shareholder litigation or other harmed people as a result of what happened in the cyber attack. More often than not, unfortunately, hackers are getting in because of simple mistakes where companies simply aren't locking the front door or closing the windows. And what I mean by that is remote access, right? We all set up remote access to facilitate our employees to come in and connect from home while they're on the road, et cetera. Too often, companies aren't securing this, which is creating that entry point for the attackers. That's a big problem. Another one is not having multi-factor authentication set up. And so attackers can use tactics like brute forcing or trying a password over and over again until they get in because there isn't that second factor. The third and last big point that I'd bring up is that too often we're not updating our software, and those vulnerabilities that exist are creating mechanisms for the attackers to get into our environments using outdated software that has bugs, candidly. And so what you need to do, of course, is have that employee awareness training at all times to make sure your employees and your colleagues are vigilant about what the risks and the threats are out there, and also build in multiple layers of defense. So even if a password is shared inadvertently, there are other things that are stopping the threat actors or the attackers from moving into the network more broadly. We are in the AI era, and so it is fundamentally changing the way we operate. It's changing the way threat actors or attackers are coming after us. More and more, they're starting to use AI in their attacks, the methods that they use in the phishing emails, in using video deepfakes to trick help desks, and to move faster in a network in how they attack us, how they steal information, and lock up files in the circumstances of ransomware. The good news here is that we're also seeing a sea change on the defense side, where there is technology that's bringing in AI capability that's allowing defenders to see the signal and the noise. So to look at more information and have better visibility across the network, but see the threat in real time and take action faster.
So we got tasked to do was they. So the first one is the secret. That's